Well, hello there, kitties. Mario, also known as White Tom here in the dark, with my first part of a 3-part little mini-series, Creepypasta Stories. Well, as you know, it is the month of Halloween, and it's fast approaching. So I decided to tell you about 3 of my favorite creepypastas, or modern urban legends, that usually have something to do about video games, or modern-day fears, or the like. Tonight, I'm going to talk about sonic.exe. No one knows where the game came from. There's different versions of how it came to be, but in this case, the poor sap bought it off of eBay for dirt cheap. The weird part is that when he got the disc, all it had was just the word sonic.exe hastily scribbled onto disc. The disc kind of looked old and worn, and the guy just was a little scared, or worried rather, that maybe it wouldn't work. But to his relief, it did work. But, you know, it's not unheard of. There are ROMs, there are emulators, and, well, this guy decided, hey, I have a computer, why the hell not? But, as he'll find out later, maybe he will wish it hadn't. He was a little surprised that he didn't have to install an emulator or do anything to play the game. It was already ready to play. So he started to play. What was weird is that the title screen came on, but just at the last minute, everything winked out. The blue sky turned dark blood red. Everything looked rusted and worn out, and Sonic's eyes just looked red and malevolent with blood dripping from their eyes. The player thought nothing of it, but just decided it was just a glitch and played on. He was startled again to see that instead of going to the first level, Green Hill Zone, he was met with 3 save files that didn't belong. I mean, this was Sonic 1. The save files only appeared in Sonic 3, and each file was different. One had Tails, one had Knuckles, and it was locked, and so was Dr. Robotnik, which was very odd since Dr. Robotnik was not a playable character in the Sega Genesis Sonic games. But he decided maybe it was a hacked game. Why the hell not? I'll play some more. And decided to try for the only choice that he had, which was Tails. He was startled to hear a sort of a creepy laugh, much like Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. And when the title of the level came up, it only just said Hill. And it was just a flat land with Tails just running and running and running. And the music seemed twisted and distorted. He didn't think too much of it. He pretty much assumed that it was already hacked, and the gamer just continued to run forward with Tails, until he started noticing little bodies on the ground. The little animal friends that usually free at the end of the level, they were all over the ground and on the trees, dead. Some of them were decapitated, some were gored, but all of them were covered in blood and just dead. And the player started to notice that Tails was getting scared. There was a look of fear and sorrow in the expression of Tails, but he kept moving him closer and closer. And then at the end of this straight walkway, Sonic was waiting for him at the end. As Tails got closer, Sonic's eyes opened, and they revealed those dark red eyes that he saw on the title screen until everything went into black. He got a prompt saying that it was time to run. Tails was getting scared. Yes, Tails, the sprited character, was in fear for his life, and he was crying as Sonic began chasing him, floating in the air while cackling an evil laugh. And try as the player might, he couldn't get away. Sonic eventually caught Tails, and that was the end for him. When he came back to the main menu, the save menu, he saw that Tails' expression was just dead, and the same blood-red eyes with the blood dripping from the eyelids. The same expression as Sonic, and then he realized that he could pick Knuckles now. And while he was playing Knuckles, the level that Knuckles was in was depressing. Just clouds and a dark and cracked and bloody, blood-soaked floor, until Knuckles too ran into Sonic, and the demon lunged after him. Knuckles, of course, tried to fight back, but try as he might, he couldn't hit Sonic, for Sonic kept teleporting back and forth, until Knuckles finally gave up and dropped on the floor in despair. All the while the player was getting really freaked out, and Knuckles too was taken. Finally, the player was allowed to play as Dr. Robotnik. And at this point, the player was really freaking out. But he kept saying to himself, it's just a hacked game. Someone's sick idea of a joke. And he played on. Dr. Robotnik, well, he looked like he was scared out of his wits, like he knew the fate that had befallen Tails and Knuckles. And he ran for his life, but try as he might, there was no escaping Sonic. And Sonic cornered him. After making Dr. Robotnik witness the floor and the scenery change from a pristine palace setting to cracked, distorted, decayed, and death everywhere. Sonic surrounded him, captured him, and the screen faded to black. And then it went static, snowy. The computer screen itself went static and snowy. Until, after what seemed like an eternity, a deep, guttural laughter echoed through the speakers of the computer. And an evil, maniacal Sonic grin appeared. A malevolent grin, blood eyes, and with the words, I am God, painted in blood red above his evil head. And everything went to black until the words ready for round 2 appeared on the screen. The gamer freaked out, turned everything off, and just stood there for a minute in shock and just shaking in fear. It's just a joke. It's just a hacked game, he said to himself. But then, just to make sure, he unplugged the computer and the power was completely dead. And he kept reassuring to himself that it was really just a game. A hacked one. Someone's sick idea of a joke. And that there was no way that was real at all. Until he heard maniacal, guttural laughter behind him. And he saw that face in the window. And it was the last thing he saw. Now, how'd you like that, children? Of course, you really can't say whether or not that game is for real, but if you want to experience it for yourself, you can download it. Someone did go ahead and make a sick idea of a joke. And go ahead and check it out for yourself. Or go ahead and see the game for yourself on YouTube. Follow the link somewhere on this screen. Of course, it's just a story, you know. It's not like it's real. Is it? Is it? Sleep well, boys and girls.